Hey everyone, welcome back to the OCheap channel, the channel dedicated to all things cheap in the world of fragrances. And today's video, we're going through our last seasonal fragrance list of the year, ending the year off with the winter cheapies fragrance list of 2025. The ones that I would highly recommend for you to seek after and wear this coming up winter time, and the ones that I personally will be wearing and rocking all throughout the winter, and ones that I personally really love, and ones that could be my personal signatures for all the season long. And all of these work perfect for that bitter, harsh cold. And I think this year is supposed to be an even more intense winter if you're in the US area, and more snowfall, even in my southern region of the US where I am now. It's gonna be very cold, but these will get me through perfectly. Most of these are great even in the day and nighttime, but some of these are probably gonna be more for special occasions if you're out and about, especially on a date or for Christmas time or New Year's or whatever you have going on. Some of these really will work well for a staple selection. Starting off with the first one here, and this was gonna be an honorable mention. I haven't done one of those in a list in a while, but the reason being because this one can be a little difficult to find for that cheap price that I like to have at $40 or under, but I have been able to see this even at rack stores for well under that price, especially on clearance, and at some online stores as well for a really good deal. But it's a very hype cheapie. You don't see a whole lot of people talking about it, but when they do, they really enjoy it and hype it up. This is by Salvatore Ferragamo, and this one is Spicy Leather. This is one that is very original in its profile, but does have a little bit of similarities, but a good evolution in the leather line from Ferragamo. But this is, I think, the more cold weather, more intense, deep, dark one, probably besides the new Sublime leather that came out, which I really do want to get. But by the name, you know exactly what you're getting into, and it's really the whole profile of this. So like what the name says here, you're going to get a lot of immediate spices in here, a good bit of a peppery spices, a little bit of a sweetness as well. There's also a very noticeable saffron note, giving it a little bit of an oriental kind of feel. But along with that, you get a very strong, clean, but piercing leather note. It's a little bit animalic, especially as it starts drying down, but it does, for the most part, stay very clean and smooth, like what most of the leather line does, but not as clean and fresh as like bright leather or even the intense leather flanker. This is way more on the animalic, realistic, almost dirty, wintry, cold weather oriented leathers that are a little more hefty, have a little more density to them, but it matches the spices perfectly. And like I said, a little bit of a sweetness in the opening, and as it goes through, a little bit of an ambery quality, a little bit of a resinous factor, good bit of woodiness as well. Very masculine, very hearty, but also very professional, grown up, almost like CEO or boss kind of vibes. You can definitely see someone wearing this with a real leather jacket, leather belt, a nice wristwatch, leather shoes that are all bespoke kind of style. This is very classic, but not too much so where you can't wear it casually, but it definitely has a special occasion facet to it. Like I said, probably exclusively for the very cold weather, definitely the colder side of fall and almost all of winter, maybe the colder side of spring, but for wintertime, either day or night, this kills. Absolutely amazing quality. If you do happen to get this for that cheap price of either 40 or under or around that mark, you would not be disappointed with the quality to price ratio. It is far surpassing that. Really amazing, like a niche profile. Like I said, it's unique for what it is. Doesn't really smell like anything else out there aside from all the other leather ones in that line from Ferragamo, but it is a good evolution from that. And performance on this, as far as I've found, is not spectacular. A very loud performer for that first little bit, but after that 4 to 5 hour mark, it does seem to die off a little bit. But then again, I've only worn it a couple times, but I do really like it, so I'm planning on wearing it more, and maybe my opinion will change, and as it sits on my shelf or my nose develops more, then maybe I'll be able to detect it for longer. But still, even so, the quality in this and the profile is still spectacular. Love it. Absolutely do not mind it. I will spray as much of it on as I need to, because the opening especially is something that is just really beautiful. But yeah, really love this one. Again, an honorable mention because it will be hit or miss whether you can find this for a good price or not, but if you can, I highly recommend trying it, especially if you're a gentleman, mature guy, even a young guy that wants something a little more mature, formal, and something that's very special. This is a great one to go with. Absolutely love it. Again, by Salvatore Ferragamo, and it is Spicy Leather. Now going to the official 5 in the list, and there are a few clones in here, but I tried to keep it sprinkled throughout, and even the ones that are in here, some of them have a little bit of a twist, so it's not exactly a one-to-one clone. It is, I think, a better version of what it is cloning. Starting off with the first one here, it is one that I absolutely love and really enjoying it. It's more versatile than just a wintertime fragrance. You can easily wear this in the springtime, maybe some in the summer if you're careful with the sprays, or almost all year round. But I think in the colder seasons, especially wintertime, is where this one will shine. And like I said, it is more versatile where you could easily wear it in the day or nighttime. It is a clone fragrance, but again, a very nice twist on the original that it's cloning. It is by Armaf, and it is Club Nuit Lionheart Man. So in case you don't know, this is a clone of Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Male Elixir, and the twist that is on this is that it has a lot more emphasis on the opening with that fresh, minty, aromatic nature, especially that mint note, very sweet, very bright, not really too green, but is very effervescent, very clean, very piercing, and absolutely very enjoyable. More of a fresh, uplifting nature to what is usually a very sweet, dense, heavy profile, but don't worry, it does dry down, getting more into that sweetness with the opening. You do, like I said, have that minty, fresh, aromatic nature, but right behind it, a lot of vanilla, a lot of benzoin, ambery sweetness, that tobacco, that honey, that lavender, all of that coming in, especially more as it dries down, getting more ambery, warm, very musky through and through still, but more of that sweet, sultry, seductive nature. And this stuff is very smooth, very addictive, and like I said, super high quality for what it is. And the performance on this is spectacular. Easily a 8+ hour longevity with a medium loud projection for majority of the fragrance. It wears very smooth, very nice on the skin, does not smell too overdone and too synthetic. It is probably one of my absolute favorite Club Nuit flankers that I own at the moment. And like I've said before in a lot of my other videos, that I really don't need or want any other Le Male Elixir clone when I have this, because I love the twists that's on this. I love how more versatile it is while still keeping majority of that profile intact, especially as it dries down. It just gives me everything I want out of it, and I don't really want to have to own a lot of other Le Male Elixir clones just to gauge them all, and this is the one that does everything that I need. I just really enjoy it. It's a compliment getter. It's perfect for casual wear, but especially date nights. Yeah, I'm probably sure that you can even wear it out and about in a formal gathering, just probably not for office wear unless you're very subtle with the sprays, but a majority of the time you'll be wearing it, it's gonna be something that's very playful, or you're wanting to get good attention, or just because you want to smell good. This is a great one to go with. Absolutely love it. Fantastic. I cannot brag on this enough. I'm so glad that I happened to buy it right after it came out when everyone was talking about it. I don't think I really hyped this one up enough. It is easily a strong 10 out of 10 above everything in my collection. Really enjoyed this, especially for the price that you can get this at now. I can't complain a bit about it. Absolutely love it. Again, by Armaf, and it is Club Nuit Lionheart Man. The next one here is one that I've talked about a lot before, and everyone else in the cheapy community, or really just the fragrance community in general, has talked about this as being one of the better and probably one of the best cheapy fragrances that you can get that has a high quality factor to it. And it really is dirt cheap now. I think it used to be cheaper probably way back in the day. Now it's crept up a little bit over time, but then again, what hasn't? But still, for what you can get this at now, you would not expect the quality and really the overall performance and everything out of it that you get, especially for all my retro, old school cheapy collectors out there. This one is for you. It is by Jacques Bogart, and it is Bogart pour Homme. So this is yet another one that I think works great as a signature for all year round, but because we are in winter and I want to put an emphasis on it, it works great for winter as well. In case you don't already know about this, this is one that has a lot of similarities to a very popular niche fragrance from Xerjoff, which is Xerjoff Naxos, which is very odd because the note breakdown on this would not lead you to believe that it should smell like Naxos, which is why this is an anomaly and also something that's very special. What you're gonna get out of this is really what you get most out of a very old school retro beginning 2000s fougere barbershop kind of style fragrance with a little bit of a spicy twist on it. This has a lot of lavender, a lot of vanilla, a good bit of an aromatic nature in there as well. And even though this is very similar to Naxos, you can think of this as being the sweeter form of Naxos. Naxos is a little more dry, a little more aromatic, but this definitely has the sweeter nature over that. A little powdery, very musky, a little bit woody in the dry down as as well, maybe slightly ambery, but this is one that also has a tobacco, like almost honey tobacco kind of aspect to it, which is weird because, like I said, this does not have a tobacco note in here, and some people even say it has a little bit of a cherry kind of aspect to it as well, which I cannot argue against because I have gotten nuances of that in there, but I definitely get the tobacco essence out of it. And even though this is an old school fragrance and it is very inexpensive, the performance on this is really, really good, very solid, above average, both in projection and longevity and sillage and in the air. This stuff smells absolutely delectable, wonderful. If you're a more mature guy who wants a signature that stands out in sweetness, being a little seductive in nature, but you don't want those that are heavy in like the ethyl maltol, syrupy bubblegum kind of style, this is a great one to go with. It has a masculine edge to it, very mature, very formalized, but without being too playful and kiddish in the sweetness. It has a great balance between there. And if you're a younger guy who wants a more grown-up kind of style fragrance that has the sweetness that you enjoy, I think this will work great for you as well. Absolutely phenomenal. This stuff kills all day, every day. Like I said, you can find this for probably right at or a little over $20 online. I think it used to be way cheaper than that. I think I even bought this one for under $20, but still, that is not a bad price at all. And like I said, you'll look at the price tag and you'll smell this and they just do not match up because this smells way higher quality than that. So smooth, amazing perfumery behind it. It just shows you really what people are missing out on when they overlook something because of the price tag, because you would not be able to guess it by smelling this one here. Again, really love this. I enjoy it so much, and one of the staples in my collection that if everything went, I would always definitely keep this one in it because I really, really do love it. Again, this one here by Jacques Bogart, and it's Bogart Pour Homme. Now onto the next one here, and we're going back to another cologne fragrance, but this one is one that you may not even know about. Not a whole lot of people talk about it online. It's very much under the radar, and the prices definitely reflect that because I got this one for well under $20, and it definitely does not smell anywhere close to a sub $20 fragrance. It's by Fragrance World, and it is called Absolute Oud Magnificent 7. So definitely by the name and the look of the bottle, all of you out there who are fragrance aficionados, who know all of your niche fragrances, you probably know what this one is a clone of. It's a clone of Yves Saint Laurent's M7 Absolute Oud. And this is, from what I've heard, very, very close to it. And even aside from the closeness of it, from what I smell with this, after I've sprayed it, let it mature on my shelf, and then worn it again months later, this stuff is absolutely amazing. What you're gonna get with this is something that starts off on the front, very strong oudy, very woody, not really too funky, but it definitely has a little bit of an animalic, darker aspect to it, and you get a lot of patchouli in here, very forward, a little earthy, not really too chocolatey, but definitely has a strong patchouli, almost hippie style to it, and then right along with it, a lot of spices, I think with a noticeable nutmeg note in there, a little bit powdery as it dries down as well, but overall through and through is a very woody, patchouli, slightly oud style fragrance as it goes through. It definitely has a very dark aspect to it, very similar to the thought process and the feeling you get behind Encre Noir and Encre Noir All Extreme, very much in that style. Not really going to be for anyone who is youthful out there. If you want something that's overly sweet and easy appealing and very high in vanilla and benzoin and things like that, this is definitely for more of you mature, older gents out there, and for those of you who want a more niche, way out there profile for your wintertime fragrance that is something that would be like a special occasion or only nighttime use, this is the one to go with. And performance on this is really, really good as well. Not the loudest performer as it dries down, but has pretty good longevity. I'd say right at average, but overall the profile on this is what has impressed me. It is very rich, very deep, very complex, and has a great quality about it. Definitely not anything you expect for sub $20. It is way above that price point. Absolutely love it. Like I said, an underdog, no one's talking about it. Again, I don't know how close it is to the original, but from what I hear, it's very close. And aside from that, it is a strong standalone fragrance to me. Again, absolutely love this. Highly recommend it for you out there. For those of you who want something more interesting in your collection for this winter. Again, by Fragrance World, it is Absolute Oud Magnificent 7. Now on to the next one here, and it's one that I'm not going to talk a whole lot about because I've talked about it a lot, and a lot of other people have talked about it all throughout the fragrance community for years. Ever since this came out, it's been hyped all throughout the fragrance community, not just the cheapie community, but the whole community in general. Right alongside Jacques Bogart, it's been considered like a niche profile for the cheap. It has a great perfumer behind it, which is why it is so good and probably going to be timeless for years to come. And when I mention the name and the company it's from, you're automatically going to know what it is all about. It is about Bentley, and it is Bentley for Man Intense. So I have actually done a full review of the whole Bentley for Man line as it is now, and I'll put a link to it right up here. But just to go through it real quick, what you're gonna get out of this is a fragrance that starts off being very sweet, boozy with a nice rum note in there, very glowing, warm, ambery, a little resinous, slightly balsamic, a lot of leather in the background, being a little bit animalic, and also has a good bit of an incense note in there, making it very different from the original Bentley for Men, adding in a little darker nuance and aspect to it, very spicy as well, and overall through and through a much more intense, dense, more hefty version of the original. Definitely less sweet than that and less aromatic, but very woody. Like a lot of people say, very glowing, ambery, and warm with a nice serious aspect to it. Definitely has a very niche profile. Not everyone is going to be about it because it does have almost a bitter quality with the way that the resins and the balsamics and that leather come across. Very masculine, but very classy, very dressed up. It's gonna be one that, like the one before this, more appropriate for the nighttime, especially for date nights or going out and about on the town, or maybe even formal gatherings and classier events. Definitely right down that style. And if you're a more mature, older guy, you might could even wear this as a signature in the daytime, but definitely all through the cooler weather. And as far as performance, it is really, really solid. A nice average, maybe a little above that overall in both longevity and sillage and projection. Really great, and one that I will never argue about with being a niche profile for the cheap. It is very complex, super high in quality, great performance. All through and through, it has a 10 out of 10 everywhere that I look throughout it. Another one that I will always keep in my collection, even if everything else goes, because I just really love how this comes across. And again, shows you what really can be done for the cheap if you get the right person behind it, and that people who are overlooking it because of the price tag or because of the rumors here and there are definitely selling themselves short and missing out 100%. Really love this one. Always look forward to every time it gets cold because I just know that at some point I want to break this bad boy out and spray it and enjoy it all over again. Again, another good one that's perfect for those special occasions and those dense, cold nights. It is this one by Bentley, and it's Bentley for Man Intense. Now onto the last one here, and this one is another clone fragrance, but this one's a little special because it is from a different clone house, not from the other huge Middle Eastern ones that you see. This is actually from a more private clone house that also is a discounter and reseller. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it is by FOMO Parfums, which is the company of fragrancebuy.ca, and is their release from last year. It is the Envy of FOMO. This is another one that, like the other clone that I talked about, is actually a clone of a discontinued fragrance, which makes it something that's a lot more valuable to me and a lot of others out there. For those who have smelled the originals, but yet they can't find the bottle, or they must save the ones they have, this is valuable to them. And for those like me who may have never had the chance to smell the original, this is the closest way that you will get to it. And the discontinued fragrance that it is cloning is by Gucci, and it is Gucci Envy. And from what I heard, that this is actually very close to that one, or at least as close as you're going to get right now. And because I already have a video dedicated to covering this one, I'll put the link up right here. I will also go through this one a little quicker than I usually do. What you're going to get out of this is something that is a very old school retro style of fragrance with a very balsam, woody, almost pine-like aspect to it. Very, very spicy, slightly floral, very powdery, a little vanillic, has a good bit of a mature masculine muskiness in there as well. A little bit earthy, a lot of patchouli in here as well. Very, very smooth though, very clean, very professional, very classy, and a nice grown man signature for either daytime or nighttime. Performance on this is not overly terrible, but the longevity on this definitely outweighs any other projection or sillage you get. I've been able to spray this on shirts and then like 3 days later still smell it on that shirt just as clear, or even walking to the closet and it's smelling up the whole closet, and it is an extrait de parfum, so you do expect it to have a little more heft and denseness to it. This is one that is definitely going to be both clean, fresh, and bright in the opening, but very dark, heavy, dense in the dry down. Definitely on those resins, a little ambery woodiness in there. It has an amazing, almost barbershop fougere kind of style to it, as an absolutely wonderful profile, very classic, masculine, very throwback. They keep it very faithful with the way that those older fragrances would have smelled, not really putting any modern sweetness in here, pretty much keeping it as you would smell it back then, which I really do appreciate. And this is one that, like I said before, it works great for the daytime as well as the nighttime, perfect for office wear, casual, out and about, a date night, wherever you're doing with it. It works great for that as long as you're able to pull it off in a confident manner, because again, this is a throwback kind of style, so you'd have to have the confidence, the outfit, the attitude, and the vibe to match that old school style. But this light Bogart pour Homme is right up my alley of the style of fragrances that I personally really enjoy. I have a soft spot in my heart and soul for these kind of styles, and I wear them up just the same as I would any other blue modern freshie. I absolutely love it, really enjoy it, and like I said, it is a clone of a discontinued fragrance, which makes it a little more special and have a little bit more kind of priority over most of the ones in here, because it has just a little more unique special factor that, hey, I'm wearing something that isn't around anymore, and I'm really enjoying it. But yeah, really enjoy this. FOMO makes amazing stuff. They have a lot of new releases out there now, which are cloning more discontinued fragrances. A lot of other ones from this as well in the same line clone other discontinued fragrances. So if you have a chance to check them out, definitely recommend it. But otherwise, this one here would be a great start if you haven't smelled any other stuff. Again, it is this one here by FOMO, and it is the Envy of FOMO. And there you go, guys, my 5 plus 1 honorable mention cheapy fragrances that I personally will be wearing and enjoying this coming winter time, and I highly recommend for all of you out there, whether you have these and you haven't worn them, or you're looking to get them, or maybe you just don't know what to get, I highly recommend and encourage you to try these out and see what you think about them, because I think any of these would work great for the winter time, some for both day and night, some for other occasions more than others, and some for very special, unique occasions, nighttime, formal dates, out and about, just a very special occasion kind of style. But all of these for the most part are more wearable for any time of the season. I really enjoy all of these. These are the sides of the fragrance collection that are gonna have more uniqueness, more complexity, more richness to them, like you'd expect out of a winter fragrance. And if you have any of these here, or you're looking to get these, or you have questions about them, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Or maybe you're like, hey, if you like this fragrance, I think you might like this other one as well. Let me know your recommendations and your suggestions, and maybe if I had the chance, I'll be able to pick them up and let you all know what I think about them. But again, guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you like what you've seen here, if this video has been of any help or encouragement or guide along the way of what you should get or look for, let me know by giving the video a like and a thumbs up, that you're still enjoying this, that you like these specialty curated videos for every season, that I hope that it gives you some kind of either guidance or entertaining factor somewhere in the mix. Or if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed to the channel, but you do like what you see here or what you've seen elsewhere on the channel, I encourage you to please consider supporting this channel by subscribing and hitting the notification bell, so you can see all the other things that I am planning and working on in the background to bring out to all of you guys, for all of you to watch and enjoy. I'd love for you to be rolling with me on this cheap and inexpensive fragrance journey, and hey, maybe I can even help you discover something new along the way. And as usual, guys, that's all I have for this video. Again, thank you for being here and for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that you've enjoyed it. And as usual, I will see all of you again in the next video. Be blessed.